This here is coming from science.org. So very well, it's a science journal. This is a science journal website. Science.org is now saying that U.S. unconditionally approves this right here to protect poultry from the avian flu. And I'm not going to say these things right now because I don't want to get anything else happening to the channel. But it says that it's bringing the U.S. poultry farmers a step closer to doing their flocks, to really, giving them a nice big, filling of this that you probably don't want to eat. And this is coming to all chickens, poultry, meat chickens. They're already doing pigs. They've been doing pigs for quite a while now with the same technology, but they want to do your beef. And they're blaming this as the reason why. Not only are they wanting to develop the magic potion for you to take, or the little golden apple. Here's a golden apple for you. It'll make you feel better. It'll keep you from harm. It'll make peace and prosperity rain down upon your soul and body if you just take this golden apple and eat it. They're wanting it for you, and they're wanting it for all of your food, including your vegetables too. They want to do it to they want to do it to the honeybees now. I just saw another video on this yesterday where they say, oh, you know what? We just figured it out, but honeybees have an immune system and they need this golden apple too. They need the golden apple juice. And this golden apple juice is going to save the bees. Yeah. So everything needs to be given the golden apple juice. Let's see what else. And here's the bird flu with a bunch of pigeons. Pigeons are pretty dirty birds. Dirty birds. So they got to show you the pigeons out there. But this one is talking about how this is a Time magazine, time.com. And they're talking about this technology now being inserted in everything. Just so you know, it's going to be in everything. Everything. No matter what it once was, it used to be, a certain schedule for you or your children. It's all going to have the new technology in it. And it didn't go too well during the 2020 debacle. And most people don't realize how bad of a fallout there was from it. And they're going to sit there and put it in other things now. Well, like I said, I was very critical and very specific, and I can't be as specific now because I don't want to get a ding. But hey, by the way, this is a Google ad, but I do have this at the site as well, packingheat.co, if you want to get any of this stuff. Actually, no, you know what? We're going to probably wait on that. Let's just focus on the eggs. The eggs are the most important thing right now. Get your eggs because eggs are about to skyrocket. They say 40+%. Look at this. Look at this increase. I want to show you guys the increase they're saying now. This is coming from official sources. 41% more increase in eggs. And I'm going to tell you, eggs are going to disappear. I told you guys that masks would disappear during 2020. A good at least month heads up. And I'm giving you another heads up about eggs. They are going up in price and they will disappear. If you need to stock up and you love eggs and you want to stock up, the best way to do it is to get freeze-dried eggs. And I'm talking about pure freeze-dried eggs. The majority, I say 80 to 90% of all the eggs that you find online have additives. They got powders, they've got fillers, they've got soy involved in it, and other ingredients that you don't even know about. If you get it in a number 10 can, it's going to taste a little powdery too. It does cook up like an egg at a certain point, but it tastes funny. I've had it, believe me. What you want is real, non-GMO'd, pure eggs that are freeze-dried, okay? They look golden. They look golden. Here, I want to show you. Can I show you what they look like? I'll show you exactly what they look like so you know exactly what you're getting and you're not going to get the wrong thing. Just so you don't get taken if you go, oh, I'm going to go and get them cheaper online. Well, you're going to get them cheaper, but you're also going to get GMO'd and you're going to get powder. You don't want powdered eggs. These are like crystals. Okay. It's like a crystal. So what you do, if you've ever seen like freeze-dried coffee, it's kind of like, they call it crystal coffee, right? Well, that's the same thing that happens with milk products or anything like that. It almost goes to like a crystal powder. And you can chop it up and make it into a powder, but if it's crystallized, then you take, let's just say you take a little spoonful, 2 tablespoons equal 1 egg. It's very small. You mix it with a little water, and you've got a real scrambled egg. And you can't tell the difference between cracking it one day and eating it 20 years later. You got it in your pantry, and you stocked up on these. There's 4 dozen eggs in here. This one actually doesn't have 4 dozen eggs yet, but 4 dozen eggs per package. 4 dozen. Okay, and you can buy 10 of them, and you'll have eggs for probably the rest of your life if you're just you. and you won't have to worry. And they won't be GMO'd. They're not going to have all kinds of crap in it that's going to make you feel sick or something or give you cancer. They're like, oh, but we need to protect you. We need to put all this, golden apple juice inside of everything that you eat or drink or whatever in your body because we don't want you to get harmed. Right. I trust you. I trust you, Fauci. I know I'm following the science. I know I trust you. Right. Seriously. My goodness. I mean, how sheeple have we become? Or we don't even use our brains to research. We just listen to whatever they tell us on the programming. We go on our MSNBC. Well, you need to take this. The doctor says, just take your damn vaccines. Just take your damn vaccines. Remember that gal?
But this is one time. Forget the conspiracy. Listen to our government agencies. These guys are telling the truth. There's no conspiracy here, folks. Just get your damn vaccine.
All right. Thank you, doctor. Thank you.
It's like, okay, well, I guess I'll listen to the good doctor because she said there's no conspiracy here. We should just take them. But anyways, you can find the links, by the way. If you decide to get those eggs, you're also supporting what we're doing here. Get them down below. There is a 2-week turnaround, I got to tell you right now. But we're catching up. And in fact, I think we're going to be at a week out, just a week out. But we've been a 2-week behind. So if you've ordered and you're still waiting, don't worry. They're on their way. They should be on their way in the next day. Okay, so those orders that were put in 2 weeks ago are all coming in. It wasn't even 2 weeks ago. It was probably a week and a half ago or so, a week. Those are all coming in. So you guys all that have ordered, patient, but anybody else that comes on board, we're looking at about a week to a week and a half. Okay, just so you know. Give us a little time to fill all these orders. But I think it's going to get worse. I think that all of the eggs are going to dry up. And if you haven't been finding eggs in your store, that's going to get worse. Okay, you're talking 40% increase in price from right now. Here, I'm going to show you right now. All right, let's look and see what we got here. We're going to go over to the Telegram page. Let me get you pulled up here. Okay. All right, so let's just go over to the increase here. Here it is. So this is coming from apnews.com, apnews.com right here. And if you go to our Telegram page, you can access all of these links. It says, breaking, egg prices could jump 41% this year, up from previous predictions of 20%, the USDA has said, as Trump's bird flu plan is unveiled. Now, I told you about a week ago, I said it's not going to be just 20%. It's going up a lot more than that. And I was right. You see what I'm saying? See how we knew? Okay, now I'm not just saying it's going to be 40%. I'm saying it's going to be a lot worse than even that. In fact, they're going to disappear. You're not going to be able to get, if you do get lucky and they come in, they'll be bought up in just minutes. So please understand that this is just like the mask issue or the food issues that we had or the supply chain issues. By the way, this is the canary in the coal mine. This is the chicken in the coal mine. This is just this is a symbol of what's coming. Something much worse is coming. It's not just about eggs. Believe me, God gave me this message a year and a half ago for a reason. This was a prediction of when the bad things begin to happen. You're going to see this happen to the chicken eggs. You guys remember that have been following me. You heard me say chickens will be laying golden eggs. How many of you remember me saying this over and over for the last year and a half or almost two? When we had that first crisis with the eggs about a year and a half to 2 years ago, is when I started telling you need to get chickens. You need to get chickens. I said chickens are going to be laying golden eggs. And I had people saying, oh, no, you can get eggs, at the store for a lot less than you could if you had to raise them. It takes a lot of food and the food costs and the time costs and it doesn't add up in the end because you're just buying a dozen eggs for $3, when you could, end up spending $4 or $5 or $6 a dozen if you did it yourself. But I knew that's not what this is all about. It's about getting clean, pure eggs and also having access to them when something like this happens. And by the way, it's the best kind of protein you could probably eat. It's the most healthiest. This is why there was campaigns against eggs in the 80s, telling you that eggs are going to cause heart attacks and they're going to kill you. There's too much cholesterol. That cholesterol is good cholesterol. It's not the bad cholesterol. It's the good stuff that helps your body fight the bad cholesterol. The good eggs. That's why they're incredible and they're edible. They had to make the new slogans like, let's give eggs a break. We're telling everybody not to eat eggs and now nobody wants to buy eggs, And so when everybody stopped wanting to buy eggs, they had to come on and say, oh, wait a minute, eggs are okay, give eggs a break, eggs are fine, they're incredible and they're edible. You go out and get your eggs. Just forget what we said. It's okay. They still hadn't come to the end game yet. The end game, once the end game was initiated, then they would go ahead and they would do that again. And that's what they're doing right now. They're telling you they're going to kill you. They're telling everything's going to kill you now. And they're saying that there's going to be this is what they're doing. Okay, so what they're doing is they're rolling out new chicks. And I did all the research on this. Somebody that's been following me, I've done the research on the chicks and how they're coming out in all the supply stores, the Tractor Supplies and the farmhouses and stuff that normally have chicks in the winter or in the spring. And they're low on them because there's a lack of production. I did a video on this. In fact, I've got actual audio tape from a manager at Tractor Supply, and he was saying that they purposefully limited the production of chicks this year because of what's happening. The major distributors of the hatcheries,
yep,
they aren't shipping to the public, and if they are, the dates are set for a lot of the chicks to go like the end of July, June. I mean, that's really far out, like where they're going to ship to the public.
Yeah, I guess Tractor Supply pushed pretty hard and just said, hey, this is part of our vendor contract and our agreement, and, we need you guys to honor this and do it. So according to the system, I'm not getting them until March 31st. But I called the hatchery this morning, and when I talked to them, they said that they'll be shipping them out today. It's a maximum 2-day shipment. They're not going to get them out until later in the day to save the time that they're going to be actually in transit and be safer for the birds, and that will have them like by 5 a.m. Wednesday morning. Store doesn't open till 8.
That is so good. And I'll probably come and get some. But you said that their date for you was March 31st?
Yeah, so it started off as February 17th, and then it got pushed off, and then the last date that I saw was March 31st.
Dang.
And then I guess our corporate buyers got involved and, kind of held them to the fire and honoring the contract, and we're getting them on Wednesday morning.
But you were right. You were right though about the main hatcheries not shipping to the public. That's really bizarre.
Yeah. No, and from what I understand, it's a precautionary thing. Try to keep the population down a little bit until they can get a control and get some information on what the bird flu is. Now, this is what I'm hearing all third and fourth hand, not from the hatcheries themselves, but I'm
Right.
just hearing it from different people that I'm talking to.
Right.
So I don't know where their source of information is, but it sounds reasonable.
That's what I'm thinking too. I was thinking the same lines, that they're just trying to keep it. They don't want to start sending out a bunch of birds if there's going to be a big issue. It's just kind of weird, though.
Yeah, and from what I understand too, they kind of decreased production intentionally so that they didn't have an overwhelming amount of birds out there and have a greater opportunity for this to spread if it does become an issue.
Wow.
So they were
That's
doing some like
crazy.
damage control beforehand, just saying, hey, listen, we don't know if this is going to become a thing or not. It's not that big of a deal, but you know what? Just to err on the side of caution, let's limit production, because if this does go bad and and something happens, we could lose a lot of birds. It could spread. It could get a lot worse. Do everything else. Let's go ahead and still produce, but let's just kind of limit our quantities, keep an eye on this, and see if it's an issue or if it's not an issue.